So AYRx forward folds, a little different. So the first thing, I know you guys are really excited about this, but first thing we're gonna do is angel wings. Let me get the spray. Like, hold on. Let's prep. I want you guys to really focus on what does it mean to stay grounded by paying attention to the position of the tailbone in these poses. And just in case, we're going to give you a little extra grip. In time, you won't need the grip, but the mats make it so you can't cheat. You know what I mean? Like, we have to be really honest and in integrity about alignment, because you will just slide right up, kind of like ice skating or roller skating. It doesn't give you as much forgiveness to kind of get sloppy. Okay, so plumb line. Super important here. There is nothing down there. I don't want anyone looking down for the rest of the sequence. Like, seriously, like, as soon as you look down, the entire body collapses. We know where our feet are in space. We don't have to look at them to know where they are in space. There they are. Not even looking. I just think it's really important because this is where we get into our pivot point. And as soon as you look down, your hips sink back. And as soon as your hips sink back, you're off of your straw, off of your pillar. So keep your pillar, crown of the head towards the sky. Push your arms down and keep looking up. See if you can just rock your pelvis forward and back, up onto your toes, and see if you can pull your shoulders down the back at the same time. Even with the arms straight, so you really have to be honest about it, right? It's pretty easy to let the shoulders roll up by the ears. So then once you're pushing forward, we're gonna turn around in a second so we all have room. But once you're pushing forward, you have to really press your tailbone towards the front of the room here. If you don't press your tailbone, the swing is gonna ride up. Okay? So once we come into that position, just watch for this first one, and then we're gonna have you guys face the garage door so we're all going in the same direction. So once we get into that position and it's locked in, then we can practice our angel wings. I'm still gonna keep my gaze up. Even here, I'm not gonna move the position of my head at all. I'm just gonna let my pelvis sink down. My pelvis is gonna lift up so my head can sink down. So now my sit bones are towards the sky, and then they come up. I don't use my upper body as much as I'm pushing my pelvis forward and tucking my tailbone under. Okay? So tailbone is gonna try and point towards the sky. Tailbone points down towards the ground. That's all we're gonna do at first. Let's try to keep a T with the arms. Okay? So let's all face the garage door so we have plenty of space. And then once we do that 5 rounds, we're gonna stay down, okay? And we're gonna do stacking of the bones and all the good stuff. Okay, standing in the center of the mat, getting a nice long line of energy, keeping your plumb line, leaning forward with the hips. Press the tailbone down and press the hips forward. Get the swing below the hip bones, arms out to a T for angel wings. See if you can keep your balance. And then from there, go ahead and come into a forward fold. Keep your gaze forward the entire time. Keep your head in line with your body. So we let our tailbone face the sky when we come into the full fold, and then our tailbone is going to face the ground again. Just focus on your tailbone here. It's going to be really strong on your back.
Should we go all the way down?
Yeah, after 5. So come all the way back up, and then come all the way back down. And stay in your forward fold. Clasp your elbows and pull your biceps up to your ears. You guys can see me now, right? Make sure you're in a forward fold. Yeah, your feet are going to be closer to the center of the mat, Deborah. So you can walk them back. They can be kind of closer to the front point of the logo, but we're not going to walk to the front of the mat for this one. Yeah. So we're grounding through the balls of the feet. We're lengthening through the back of the legs. We're spreading our sit bones, pulling our heels apart. Spread the sit bones, pull the heels apart. So the inner thighs, the pubic bone, is rolling towards the back of the room here. Awesome. I'm going to go right into our plank pose and work with our stacking. So our hands are going to come out, shoulder distance. Okay. So from this pose, I want you to practice just stacking your bones, shoulders over the wrists, right? let your hands be in front of you. Don't pull them back yet. Barbara?
Yeah?
Let your hands be in front of you. Don't pull them back
Okay.
yet. Welcome. So you're stretching out. Okay, so we're in a down dog, but we're pulling forward like up dog. So we have our shoulders over our wrists. And then I want you to plug your shoulders in and then pull them out. So drop your chest down, plug your shoulders in, and then lift, press your hands down and lift your chest up and unplug your shoulders. So just practice plugging in here, because most people are really unplugged when they do these poses, and then there's no strength in the arms. So we drop our chest, we plug in, we lift our chest, and we unplug. Is everybody getting that?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now we can walk our hands to the front of the mat, and our feet are gonna float up into a plank, level with the earth, toes touch. One of the cheaters is you touch your toes and that internally rotates the legs. Okay? Toes, yeah. That is one of the ways to make sure that you're internally rotating. Can you guys feel the hips a little bit more? Okay? Now do the same thing. Then you're gonna plug in. Okay? And now when we come into our chaturanga, we're gonna make sure that we dip and pull our elbows to the sides, right? So chaturanga is when the elbows stay in line with the shoulders. Yes, your elbows are flaring out wide, Barbara.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Pull them in. Yeah. So elbows stay in line with the shoulders.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, totally different. That's our chaturanga. Okay, great. Now let's hook our feet outside in. So you bend the knees, you keep the knees lifted. You let the feet hook outside in. Other way, outside in. Stay strong in the arms. We never bend the elbows. Here. So in the plank pose, if you bend the elbows, you're gonna pull yourself off the center line. Do you feel that happen, Barbara?
Yes.
Yeah. So we keep the arms straight in order to make the transition, so we have nice long lines of energy. Heels are gonna be close to our bum. Yeah, that's it. That's it, Deborah, good. Just try to keep the arms straight, gaze slightly forward. So now when we do our chaturangas, there's gonna be more weight. So first plug the shoulders in before we try to do anything else. They probably came unplugged, right? So unplug the shoulders, plug the shoulders in, and practice in that position, that movement of dropping the chest down towards the ground, which is plugging the shoulders in. Then we can bend the elbows, chaturanga, but make sure that they are pulling in towards one another. That's keeping the external spiral. Yeah, so not upside down dog yet, just chaturangas. Stay stacked. Your shoulders are gonna be over your wrists the entire time. Okay, good? So far so good?
Yes.
Then we stay plugged in, and then we can press back to an upside down dog. Straight arms, press back. You're gonna go nice and slow because it's gonna be way different. Inhale, pull forward for up dog, stay plugged in. Exhale, press back upside down dog. Most people come completely unplugged here. So once you're in upside down dog, unplug and then plug in. Unplug and then plug in and feel the difference. Feel what happens to the chest.
Yeah. And
Feel-
the arms.
Yeah, feel what happens to the arms. It's so different. Most people just unplug and completely collapse, but when you stay plugged in, it keeps you lifted. Okay? Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and practice a handstand here. We're adding on to what we did before. You guys can see me, right? I know you guys are all looking forward like good kitties, but okay. So we're gonna plug in, we're gonna hook with our toes, stack your hips over your shoulders, so you're in a straight line, right? Crown of the head towards the floor then, tailbone towards the sky. You're gonna stay plugged in, you're gonna let yourself come back to an upside down dog. Inhale, up dog, tuck, handstand, stack, straight up and down, and then go ahead and release the hips back down towards the ground, the heart towards the ground for upside down dog. So let's try that for a few rounds. Go ahead and pull forward for up dog, arms straight, 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 and then pull your hips up towards the sky. Tuck, tuck, all the way. Yeah, tuck, straight arms, you got it, tuck. And then go ahead and let your pelvis relax back down towards the ground. Go ahead and push back to an upside down dog. Inhale, pull forward, straight arms even more. Straight arms even more, Deborah. Can you straighten them even more?
My arms?
Yes.
No.
There. The elbow creases just needed to face each other. Okay. And then press back when you're ready. Do a few rounds. So pull up, 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 up. Yeah. Head in line with the body. Straight arms, straight arms, straight arms. Yeah. Yeah. Woo. break. Yeah, well the shakiness is usually when we lose the alignment somewhere, right? Because otherwise we're just stacked. Good job. So we're gonna come up through angel wings, but come up any way you want. Take a little break. I'll just demo that one more time so we could see.
Do you know where the spray is?
Yeah, I have it right here.
Oh, mine's gonna spray.
Yeah, just ask me and I'll do it, okay? You're gonna spray your hands? Crazy glue? You wanna spray yourself? Glue yourself on it. Just watch the first round for our stacking. So we did this when we were standing. Unplugged, plugged, unplugged, plugged, unplugged, plugged. So you have to really plug in for these poses, right? We're just doing the one part of the spiral dynamics, but it's such an important component. And once we get this, then we can really fly. I'm just gonna come straight down and come into the plank pose. So we have to keep our arms straight the whole time, even when we're plugged in. Look down at your elbow creases and make sure that they're facing one another. Something about your arms, there where your elbow creases were facing back, so it was making your elbows flare out. Elbow creases face one another. Once we're there, straight lines, toes touch, really important, because otherwise when people are like this, they've collapsed in their pelvis. Okay, that's kind of like pulling the hip bones towards one another. Okay, bending the knees, hooking the feet, upper body doesn't move at all, right? Plug in, because it's really easy as soon as you move to unplug, right? Plug in, press back. The head doesn't drop below the biceps. See how slow and controlled that can be then? Inhale, same movement with the upper thoracic spine. Arch from the upper thoracic spine, keep the back of the neck long. From there, you can pull the lats down the back. See how nice and plugged in. From there, you can tuck and stack. Wow. So in this position, my crown of the head is pointing down, my tailbone is pointing up. My feet are really engaged. Right. And I can feel that right behind the heart. Stay plugged in, relax the pelvis down, press the chest back. Plug in. Unplug, plug. Play with that. Maybe one shoulder is doing it and the other one isn't. Just notice, right? Just play with that. Plugging in, stacking, coming back. Nice and slow and controlled. See if you can use your core. Pull forward for up dog. Pay attention to the external rotation of the arms. Get the shoulders plugged in, lifting with the heart, and then one more time, handstand. Really pull up through your core even more, right? To get the spine, to keep the spine in a straight line. Most people look like a slinky when they're trying to stack instead of that plank pose, coming up through angel wings, pressing forward, walking forward. Try to come up through angel wings to get that in the body, like a pendulum in and a pendulum swing out. Okay, go ahead and play with that. 5 more rounds. Just do as many handstands as it feels good, but I'm recommending 5. Plumb line, so we don't need to look down in these poses. Go ahead and talk yourself through it. See if you can get there.